So this Saturday is a global march against mainstream media. It's happening in about 400 locations across the world. Why is it happening? Because more and more people are waking up to the fact that the ability of mainstream media to construct people's sense of reality is a major problem. In the UK, we're focusing on the BBC, not because it's the easiest target, but because it's the most important, because people trust the BBC. Why are people upset with the BBC though? 60,000 people marched against the current government's policies, trashing the NHS, privatising it, sacking doctors and nurses. This was barely covered at all in the BBC and the rest of the media. There was a Million Mask March, as it was called, again something happening in hundreds of locations across the world, people standing up against the status quo. It linked up with the People's Assembly, which is a group in this country that's been uniting millions of people through unions and other organisations against austerity. Again, it wasn't covered. There's a group called DPAC, Disabled People Against the Cuts, that's been doing heroic work to try and highlight the hideous plight of disabled people who are being brutalised in the name of tough politics. The EU-US trade agreement, which threatens to give away our democratic power over our economy to secret corporate tribunals in which our country can be sued for any law that compromises corporate profits. So we put a law in place that protects people or the environment or anything, and the government and the companies can sue the government for billions of dollars. Climate change, the World Bank says we have 5 years to prevent an irreversible catastrophe. Is it any more than an occasional footnote in the mainstream media? No, it's not. The world that we give to our children is dependent on us standing up against this complete corruption of the fourth estate. Now, the fourth estate is what the media is meant to be. It's the part of the power system that is meant to hold the rest of it to account, but it's not doing that. In the case of the corporate media, it's easy to understand. It's owned by huge corporations, increasingly few of them, and paid for 95% by the other corporations. When we look at the BBC, though, it shouldn't be much more difficult to understand why we have a problem also. Since its inception, the reform of the licence fee has been held over the BBC's head, so that whenever it steps out of line, it's threatened with dissolution. You look at the people who are running it, again, it's no surprise what we actually see on the ground. The chairman of the BBC Trust, is it a man or a woman who's had a lifetime of showing that they really understand the way the media works, understands the fourth estate and what the media needs to do? No, it's not. It's Lord Patten, a Conservative peer. He takes more money from BP and other fossil fuel interests each year than he takes for his job as the chairman of the BBC Trust. We have James Harding, who is an ex-Murdoch editor, used to edit The Times. Do we expect these people to protect the status quo or to stand up for the truth where real power is in the way? I would say the former. If you get that this is a problem, if you're among the millions of people across the world that realise sorting this out and getting people to engage with this question is crucial to the future we give to our children, then come out on Saturday, show that you care, because it's by making these issues public that we can really force this conversation into the mainstream and actually have some prospect of a decent media that would help us bring about the sustainable, democratic and happier world that we really, really need. So please come and join us on Saturday if you possibly can. Click on the link below. We're in London, we're in Manchester, but wherever you are, please do what you can. Send this round on social media, but do your best to make this the event that it can be. Thank you very much.